we shall consider the problem which applies the critical rule. Okay, so here the shifting of summing point or takeoff point after or before the block will not get as a final solution, will not get as a minor feedback loop. So here it is necessity to apply critical rule. So critical rule, you know, that is rule number 10 and rule number 11. So it speaks about shifting of takeoff point before or after a summing point. We usually shift our summing point or takeoff point after the block or before the block. So here we have to shift our takeoff point in such a way that the complete block will be get reduced. Now what will be our first step? So let me mark A, B, C. Okay, these are all the summing point I have, and followed with 1, 2 takeoff points. Now I am unable to identify any blocks in series or in parallel condition, or neither a minor feedback loop. So now if you see, if I shift this A block after G1, I won't be getting any minor feedback. Even if I shift this takeoff to the right, so there also I won't be getting any minor feedback. So if you check shifting of any summing point or any takeoff point after the block I'm talking about, if I shift this A summing point after G1, so there won't be any closed loop. So here my situation is such a way that I have to shift this to the takeoff point 2 before the B summing point, so that I will get all other minor feedback loops. If I shift this to position here, I will get one loop and one more loop, total 3 loops I can get. So here my condition, it makes my situation makes to apply the critical rule. So I always try to avoid. That doesn't mean that you are not supposed to use critical rule. There will be some situation where you have to apply the critical rule. So my first step will be shifting of the takeoff point, that is number 2, before the summing point B. Okay. Yeah. Now so I will shift the second summing point to the position here 1, and I have to do the modification. So if I measure I will be getting a signal. So let me mark this as negative, this is also negative. I am getting a signal from this summing point. Okay, so that I will be measuring here. Whatever the output from the B summing point, so the same will be measured here. Okay, now what I am doing, I will be shifting this the second, that is second point, to the position 1. So now, okay, I have shifted. So let me write it properly. Okay, I have done the shifting. Now previously I was getting the output from B and it was measured here. After shifting, you need to make sure that the same signal has to be sent to the takeoff point 2. So what I will do, I will send the signal. Okay, send this signal. You can see here the signal, whatever that we are getting, I will just bypass that signal. Okay, let me rewrite with a summing point. So when you do the critical, when you apply the critical rule, so you always make sure that you will add a summing point. Okay, make sure that you always add the summing point, and you should invert. You need to bypass the signal, so whatever that you are getting earlier. So to this signal, see, if you look here, B is the summing point. I was getting a feedback, and later it was passed to the, it was measured here at the takeoff point 2. So the same signal I am passing here to this summing point, and from the main forward path I am measuring the signal. Okay, so here the signal, it was minus. If you check, it was minus. The same signal I will send here, it will be minus. And here the signal, whatever that I have measured here, so that will be the signal, positive signal. In forward path I was measuring the positive signal. Now this is the modification you need to apply after applying the critical rule. So the critical rule states shifting of takeoff point before the summing point. So when you do that, you need to make sure that earlier my summing point was measuring the signal which has an output from the summing point. So to this summing point I was receiving a feedback that is passed on through H2. So that was the feedback I was receiving. So what I have done, I have just bypassed one more signal of same signal to the same summing point, and I will receive the same signal to the point A. Now we shall write, okay, in more confined form. So let me copy this. Yeah. So after this, what I will do, I will rewrite, okay, the complete circuit diagram. So by by checking the flow of signal, you can notice a signal coming from the number 1 takeoff point, and it is passing to this as an one path. So this will be one path, and one more path will be So here we are having a takeoff point and followed through H2 and passing through the summing point and coming back to the G1 H1 and the same summing point. So let me rewrite. So first path I will take, and you know the associative law. You can, since the signal I was getting positive, so I can just eliminate the uh, summing point in this loop. Okay, next I was getting H2. If you see H2 to this particular point, so what I will do, I will write H2 . Okay, this path is done. So let me just highlight. This was the first path I selected. This is done, and the second path, this is done, and the third path. Okay, third path. So you just observe, this is the third path. Total 3 paths. So let me write down the third path. And now you need to consider this summing point. So the consider will be, you need to add a block. Okay, by neglecting this summing point, that block will have a unit value based on the sign. So I will consider the takeoff point. So you can take exactly on this line or here, so that you will be having no confusion, and the same will be applied to this. And it has a negative summing point. So I had H2, so while flowing, H2 is my first block, so H2 will be my first block, followed with, I had a summing point that is negative. So let me consider the negative unit block. So this is the modification that you need to do, and followed with, I had H1, G1, both are in series. I will write down in a single block, and moving back to the same summing point with a negative sign. Okay, so this will be your final modification. Now you can observe the multiple closed loop. So the first one will be the closed loop, this one. Okay, and followed with, you can shift this block, you can solve this so that you will get a minor feedback loop. So let me apply the rule. Let me copy this. So my first rule will be resolving this minor feedback loop. So that will be, I will write, this will act as a first loop. G1 followed by G1 H1 to the same. So I can write completely with a single block. If you apply the formula, this block it will be reduced to okay, so that is G1 by, we had a negative sign, 1 plus G1 G2 H1. So this will be the block after reducing. Yeah. Now I could see one more parallel loop. So what we can do is we can shift a summing point. What I will do, I will shift this summing point here. So what will happen? So this is the summing point shifting behind G2. So initially I was having a signal, okay, so this shifting I will do it here, and the modification, when you shift the summing point behind G2, it will be having G3 by G2. So when I do that, I will just erase. So I have a block G2 followed with, when I shift, I will have one more block so the modification I will write here. The particular modification will be G3 by G2, the same I will input here, and this as a sign, positive sign. If you check the previous, so here I had a C, so let me add the positive sign. When I shift this C behind G2, the modification will be when you shift a summing point behind, so the reciprocal of the block you need to add, that is G3 by G2. When you do so, yeah, this will be the modification. Now you can interchange these two. Always remember, the two summing point can be interchanged based on the associative law. When I do that, so let me just interchange. Okay, I will rewrite here. I am just interchanging the two summing point based on the associative law, and it doesn't affect the output. So block here it is G3 by G2, and that was a positive sign, and the feedback was coming to, that was a negative. Now you can add these two blocks. These two are in parallel based on the direction. So this block will become 1 plus G3 G2, and you can eliminate this particular summing point, and this is a minor feedback loop, and again you can apply the formula and you can eliminate this. So finally you will end up with So one block that has 1 plus G3 by G2, these two are in parallel, done. And one more block, and it had a negative feedback, that is so you will be having G2 by 1 plus G2 H2. This was the block, and you have 3 blocks, all are in series, and 3 blocks again in series. Just multiply, make it to a single block in forward path and single block in feedback path. Okay, finally the answer will be, I will just write down the answer, you do the further modification. So C of S by R of S, that is equal to G1 G2 plus G3 whole divided by 1 plus G2 H2 plus H1 G1 G2 minus G1 G2 G3 H1 H2. So this will be your final transfer function after reducing the above block diagram. So this will highlight the role of critical rule. Sometimes we need to apply a critical rule in order to reduce the transfer function. Now we shall move on to one more topic, that is analysis of multiple input and multiple output. If you observe here, we have a block diagram where you can notice I have 2 inputs, R1 R2, and 2 output, that is C1 C2. So here you need to apply the rule, that is rule of superposition. So we need to consider one input at a time and one output. For example, if I consider R1 and C1, the rest input R2 C2 will be 0. So that will be the case, and we shall apply the normal formula so that we will get what is C1 by R1. Similarly, you can suppress the second form, like consider R1, consider C1 and R2 as 0, identify C2 by R1. So similarly, we shall obtain the 4 combination of ratio of output by input. Okay, so let us take the first combination. So I will consider okay, R1 and C1. Okay, so while modifying, you should make a note. Directly you will not assume, we will replace. Okay, see, the R2 is supplied to the summing point. What we will do, remember this modification, you will replace the summing point. Neglecting R2 as 0 is nothing but this block will be replaced with a unit block and based on the sign. And whereas here you can directly neglect this C2. So the modification I will write, let me copy this. Okay, this is the sketch. So my condition is, I will consider R1 and R2 and R2 and C2 as 0. When I do that, so directly neglect these two value. This is done, and I will replace the summing point. Okay, so the sign was negative, with an block which will have that particular sign. It is a unit block. Now if you notice, this can be rewritten. We can rewrite this. Let me follow the signal. R1 is an input and my signal in this direction. So let me take a highlighter. So this will be the forward path. Okay, and we have a feedback. So if I measure the feedback, if I follow the signal, see, it is followed, and first block is G3 and it is not a takeoff point, just a, and G2, G4. So the green color is itself is an feedback. So let me write it in a simple form. So R1 as an input which have a summing point, and I have a block G1 and output is C1. I am taking a feedback. So first block that I have receiving is G3. Okay, let me write the block G3 followed with the next block -1, -1 followed with G2, G2, and I am reaching the G4 position and coming back to the same summing point. So in simple way, if I rewrite, G of S will be G1 and H of S, the signal is negative. H of S is G4, G2, G3 and -1 multiply. So straight away I can write the formula C1 by R1. This is the transfer function. G of S is G1 divided by 1. Sign is negative, take it as positive. G of S again G1 and H of S is, let me write, G2, G3, G4 and all are having -1. So finally you can rewrite this as (1 minus G1, G2, G3, G4). So this is the block diagram when you consider R1 and C1. In the same form, we shall consider R2, C1. Input number 2. See, input number 2. Let me copy this. So in this case, what I am doing, I am considering consider second input, that is R2 and output C1. So R1 and C2 will be 0. So let me modify R1, R2. R1, so this is the block, I will neglect R1 and C2. And here again the sign is negative, I will replace with an unit block. So that is -1. Now if you notice the forward path, okay, this will be my forward path, G2, okay, followed with G4 -1. Yeah, this is my forward path, and here I have a takeoff point. So from here the takeoff G3 and coming back to the same summing point. So when I rewrite, so please, in forward path, if you check the highlight, yellow highlight, so you have a summing point. The first block will be the G2 and followed with a G4, next -1, and next G1, output C1, and I have a takeoff point. I have only G3 in the takeoff point, coming back to the same summing point, or 2 as an input, C1 as an output, and the sign is negative. So if I write C1 by R2, the equation will be, I have a negative minus G2 G1 G1 G2 G4 whole divided by 1 minus, if I have a negative sign it will be positive, and again I have a negative, so that negative will become positive. G1 G2 G3 G4. This will be your transfer function when you consider C1 and R2. The same procedure will repeat for C2 R2, C2 R1. So the two reduction I will leave it for you. Please do it as an homework. In case of any doubt, you can ask me now. And I have shown the problem of a simple where you will find blocks in parallel, series and minor feedback loop and resolve that and get a transfer function. And one more variation is where the blocks will be arranged in a complex loop. When you follow the signal, then you can notice that it is a very simple closed loop where you will have blocks in series and blocks in parallel. And similarly, I have shown shifting of summing point and takeoff point. And one more problem based on the critical rule. So total 4 to 5 variation we have solved, and I want to highlight one more problem where as I said, you need to follow the signal in order to solve that, otherwise it would be difficult. So it's just a tricky question where usually in exams it may come. So I will just write down the question and I will show how to solve that. I won't be solving the complete, I will just rewriting the block diagram. Okay, R as an input, so followed with, so here itself you will be having an output C and G1. Okay, if you check the arrow mark, so initially it will be in the form of a confusion. So it is actually a simple one. You need to understand the path. You need to check always which one is a forward path and which one is a feedback. Yeah, this is a block where you can notice you cannot find any block in series, any block in parallel, and all are jumbled up. How to reduce this? So here you need to identify the signal flow and rewrite the same sketch as per the forward path and the feedback. When you do that, it will be further in reduced form. Okay, so this part I will give you as an homework. Please solve this, and you can submit the same in Google Classroom. Okay, so thank you.